everyone. This is another segment of I Am Beauty cooking. Today, we're going to cook chicken vegetable soup. And remember, we're on a keto, carb-free soup recipes. So, enjoy. Try it for yourself and let me know how it's working out for you. Let's begin. Okay guys, we have our chicken broth ready, and this is olive oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of cumin, a little bit of celery seeds, and a little bit of thyme. All right, added the vegetables to the olive oil and to the seasoning, and I did it by design because it's going to add just a little bit of extra flavoring to your soup. You don't need to do this. You can add the vegetables straight to your soup. All right, I'm adding a little bit of extra flavoring. I'm softening up the vegetables just a little bit. This is my rutabaga, my turnip, my parsnip. This is how I was raised on vegetables, and I don't know if it's a Caribbean thing or what. I just know this is how I was told to make soup, and I'm sticking to it. All right, you don't have to do this. All right, I added cumin, celery, and thyme. All right, just gonna soften it up a little bit. I'm not gonna cover it. It'll get softened up, and I'll keep stirring it for like another minute or two. We don't want the olive oil to burn. Olive oil I like to add to many of my dishes now because olive oil, over cooking oil, very healthy for your body. It really does lubricate your bones and does not clog your arteries. And that's why I'm encouraging olive oil. The only other oil that I would encourage after olive oil would be flaxseed oil. I didn't want to add flaxseed oil because flaxseed oil has a very specific taste, and I don't want you guys to have to get accustomed to that on this soup dish that I'm making. But if you can include flaxseed oil instead of olive oil, do that, because that is an amazing substitute for vegetable oil. Okay, so this is my chicken broth boiling, and it's been boiling for an hour. I took out the chicken because I no longer need it. I'm going to chop it up later and put it back in. But for right now, I've left the onion in because the onion is still needed. And because the last time I made my soup with chopped garlic, I was not happy about that. So I am now adding real garlic. And I'm also adding bay leaves. I'll take this one right here. And I'm also adding celery flakes. And again, I'm heavy-handed, so I have no problem adding a lot of celery flakes. Here's where we're gonna go left. This is fresh basil. And I add fresh basil to my chicken stock. I couldn't do it in my last video because we were constantly out of fresh basil. So I finally went to Sprouts and I got a big package of fresh basil and 4 packages. And because I eat in a lot of Asian restaurants, I like to eat a lot of ramen noodles. And the trick to ramen noodle broth is basil. So I'm going to add the basil, stem and all. I don't take anything out. Oops, add the fresh basil. Let me see. It doesn't look so fresh. All right. All right. And now I'm going to let that sink in for about another hour. This fresh basil changes the flavoring of chicken stock, but it is absolutely one of my favorite things to add. Look at that. How pretty is that? All right, guys, I'm going to add the celery, and I'm going to add my mixture of seasoned vegetables. All right, get my spoon. We're going to stir it up now. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that. Oh, you know what I meant to do? Feel free to take out the... I should have did that. I'm sorry. You could leave it in. It's not that big of a deal, but I like to remove the basil. And I'll tell you why later. Go ahead and take out the basil. Be careful of the juice because you're going to get rid of some juice because I wasn't thinking. I should have did it right from the jump. The reason why I like to take out the basil is because it adds so much flavoring that the basil becomes a little wilted. See that? Becomes a little wilted, and that's not what you want in your soup. So now we've got a really good... Let me see if I can take out a little bit more basil. Let me take that out. I'm just going to look for the basil real quick and then put the juice back in. If you leave a little bit behind, it's not big a deal. I'm just trying to get out those stalks. You see that? I'm going to put those vegetables back in. I'm just going to sift through it in a drainer. There you go. Oops, I see a big basil there. No, no, no. Bay leaf, you must stay. Leave the bay leaves behind. I'm sorry, I didn't think about taking out the basil in advance. And I'll explain to you why later, because the basil makes an appearance later. Fresh basil makes another appearance later. Let's see. Taking out a little onion. If you notice, by the way, the onion, the whole onion is all cut up now. See that? Look, that was the whole onion. And you won't even either see it or taste the onion. All right, so don't worry about the onion. All right, I'm gonna go through this soup, and pick out the basil. Silly me. Silly me. All right, let me do that real quick, and then I'll be right back. So sorry. See, I'm trying to take out those stalks. So let me just drain this, save the juice, and put the vegetables back in. All right? Okay, I got rid of most of the basil. I'm going to pour it back into the soup. I'm going to cut up my chicken, and I'll be right back. I brought some more vegetables, more than what I'm putting in. And these are frozen vegetables, and I got the Italian-style vegetables because this is a keto soup. And it does have a little bit of green beans, Italian green beans, lima beans, red peppers, cauliflower, and zucchini. Let me see if I can get the zucchini there. And I'm going to add this. So basically, this is a chicken vegetable soup. Don't be afraid to add more salt. And the reason why I got this package is because I wanted something extra. I wanted the lima beans. Also, I put zucchini in, but theirs are a little bigger, like the size we might cut up cucumbers. And I like all of that. It has a little green bell peppers here. I like all of that, and a little bit of red peppers. So don't make yourself crazy. I added more vegetables because I just wanted it nice and healthy and filled with all kinds of vegetables. And then there was some extra stuff added, even like cauliflower. All right. Stir that in. Add a little bit more seasoning. So, because I've added so many other things, I'm going to go back and add more garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, and salt to my taste. Don't be afraid to taste it at this point. All right, I've got my dinner in front of me. And what I also have in front of me is basil. More basil, like I promised. So this is what my vegetable soup looks like. I don't know if you could see it. I'm adding a piece of steak, which I think my doctor would say was too much, but it's okay. It's okay, doc. And I'm eating mashed potatoes. It's cauliflower mashed potatoes made by Bird's Eye. This particular brand, which is roasted garlic, seems to have a lot of sodium in it. And the sodium may be too high. So try cauliflower mashed potatoes plain. Okay, I don't have high blood pressure, so I don't have to worry today, but I should be conscious of it. But it only has 9 grams of carbs, and you can't tell the difference. All right, so let me add some fresh basil to my soup. And again, I got this from a Chinese restaurant that sold ramen soup. And they're really big at serving fresh basil with your soup. And let's dive in. It's good. Because I put lemon on everything, and trust me, I'm going to put lemon in my soup, lemon on my potatoes, lemon on my steak. I just love lemon. And watch the flavor change even more. There you go. But you don't have to put lemon. I love lemon. Lemon or lime juice. I put it on everything. Wow. Now, as you guys notice, I made a huge pan. Well, guess what? It's winter. And I love soup. So I'm going to be eating it for lunch and for dinner for the whole week. And trust me, I'm going to drink the broth and eat the soup this whole week. I'll add something else to it if I need to. But for breakfast tomorrow, I'm just going to have the soup. Listen, it's about watching your weight. It's about eating healthy. Does it mean going back to cooking? Yeah, it does. But make it fun. Teach your kids, teach your grandkids. Make a big deal out of it. Make soup on Sunday. And I promise you, anything that you invite your children to help you with, you're going to teach them how to survive. Eat healthy, guys. Mantra healthy. Metaphysically healthy. IamBeauty healthy. Try this soup and let me know what you think. It is mixed with rutabaga, parsnip, turnips, and I replaced all of that with potatoes. As a matter of fact, let me pick up one of these rutabagas. Mmm. You're not going to be able to tell that it's not potatoes. I'm telling you, that was a rutabaga. Looking for something else. This is, this should be turnip. Mmm. Try it. You're going to love the newness. This I learned from my mom. I don't know if it's Caribbean. I really can't say. She never put potatoes in anything. It's always been rutabaga, turnip, parsnip. And if she didn't have all three, it didn't matter. She still didn't put potatoes in, and she would just put a lot of parsnip or a lot of turnips. Try it. It's so tasty. You're going to love it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I am Beauty. So are you. Bye, guys.